APC inaugurates Edo primary committees. President Buhari rates security agencies low, expresses worry over increasing rate of security concerns in parts of the country. And National Human Rights Commission joins other voices in condemning incidents of rape and violence in Nigeria. Good evening and welcome to the news. I am Elizabeth Omoko. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the nation's armed forces and other security agencies in the country to immediately reverse the current worrisome trend in the security situation of the country, describing it as intolerable. Addressing the top brass of Nigeria's security architecture, he summoned to a critical meeting. The president was emphatic that their best is so far not good enough towards restoring the desired peace enterprise for national growth and development. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details. The report will come to you in our subsequent bulletin. African Network for Environment and Economic Justice (ANEC) launches Sports Check report on from January to April 2020 payment on $322.5 million Abacha loot disbursement to beneficiaries, the poor of the poorest, and presentation of frequently asked questions. It has also made recommendations to the National Cash Transfer Office. Philomena Gbabo reports that this is a second edition of the program.
A total of 748,684 of vulnerable Nigerians out of an enrolled figure of 755,375 targeted in Nigerian social register received a total of 13,069,896,000, while 80% of the total from the recovered $322.5 Abacha loot used as palliative by the federal government to address the needs of the poor during the COVID-19 lockdown. The head of Monitoring Transparency and Accountability in the Management of Retained Assets, Reverend David Orolo, disclosed that the benefiting households were drawn from 24 states of the Federation, while the 8 states that are yet to be paid are Abia, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Edo, Enugu, Kebbi, Ondo, and Zamfara, occasioned by some payment service providers that do not have the capacity to effect electronic transfer payment to beneficiaries. On the way forward, they recommended that the National Cash Transfer Office should regularly review the payment register.
The public has responsibility to know what goes on with the public finance, and we as NGO working towards making sure that poverty is ended in Nigeria. We want to also see that public resources that goes to the poor, particularly the poor, is very important. We know whether it's actually getting to the poor.
For us, we are happy that progress is being made in terms of Nigerians getting awareness around this whole issue of social protection, because one way of dealing with the problem of poverty is Nigeria being able to respond to social issues across the country, particularly as it relates to the poorest of the poor amongst us.
African Network for Environment and Economic Justice is working with 8 partners across these geopolitical zones of Nigeria to ensure the returned Abacha loot from Switzerland government and the World Bank is used for the benefit of the vulnerable Nigerians. In Benin, Philomena Gbabo, NTA News.
And the Environmental Rights Action and Friends of the Earth Nigeria, a non-governmental organization championing the proper clean-up of the Ogoni land in Rivers State, is calling on the federal government to overhaul the hydrocarbon pollution remediation project Nigeria. And Willie Okolo reports that this was at a press briefing and launch of the 2020 Cleanup Ogoni Report in Benin City.
Till date, environmental contamination in Ogoni land from oil spills remain untreated and in some places partially remediated. But the federal government has since set up the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, HYPREP, based on submissions by the United Nations Environmental Programme on Oil Pollution in Ogoni in 2011. This has led the Environmental Rights Action, Friends of the Earth Nigeria and its allies to continue their campaign advocating the lives and well-being of Ogoni land to be attended to. They say that good drinking water is still not being provided by the HYPREP and the areas where work is ongoing are being done poorly.
HYPREP operations is failing to deliver on simple things like creating awareness about polluted areas and placing warning signs to dissuade communities from continuing to farm, to fish, and drink from polluted areas. The government should introduce legislation to make the agency truly independent, transparent, and accountable.
For them, proper cleanup and attention to the economic deprivation of the people will translate to justice for the Ogoni people. Hence the launch of the 2020 Global Report on Ogoni Cleanup Project, titled No Cleanup, No Justice.
As we speak, no single site has been completely and fully cleaned up. And I closely attach this to another recommendation of the UNEP report, and that is that a center of excellence be established. Now, this center of excellence is important because this place that we are cleaning up is not the only area that is polluted in the Niger Delta.
The Environmental Rights Action is a Nigerian advocacy non-governmental organization founded on January 11, 1993 to deal with environmental human rights issues in Nigeria. In Benin, Aunlio Kolo, NTA News.
It is now certain that the new College of Technical Education in Edo State will commence by October this year. It is among the 6 federal technical colleges of education recently approved by President Muhammadu Buhari. To this end, the Executive Secretary, National Commission for Colleges of Education, Professor Bakpa Aliyu Mohammed, led the federal government technical team on an inspection tour of facilities at the Colleges of Education Ekiadolo, the proposed site for the institution. Goodluck Enaine reports.
The federal government growing the nation's technological competence is a dream that must be accomplished, but not without the involvement of the education sector as one of the drivers. This is why the establishment of 6 new federal colleges of technical education in the 6 geopolitical zones has become necessary to take up the challenge of growing teachers in this area. Therefore, ahead of its takeoff in Edo State, the Professor Bakpa Aliyu Mohammadu led technical team is at the college to inspect facilities there so as to ascertain the level of preparedness of the state government.
The structures, most of them are already here, and I'm optimistic that the college can take up any time from now. The President has given his blessing that academic programs should start by October this year, and we will try to make it happen.
Governor Gordon Obaseki, represented by the State Commissioner for Education, Jimoh Ijibai, is happy with the development.
We are thankful to Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari for approving that Edo State should be one of the states to benefit from these colleges of education.
Be proud that they have come today, that the promise given by Mr. President is being implemented. So we are hopeful about October lectures will start in full.
While the announcement of the takeoff by October comes as a great news to many, members of the Senior Staff Union of Colleges of Education of the school appealed to the federal government for their absorption.
We have over 80 PhD holders in this college, courtesy of TED Fund. We are appealing to the relevant body that are here today that we want to go with our new brides.
The school was to be made a university of education before the federal government came up with the latest development. In Benin, Goodluck Enaine, NTA News.
This is NTA Benin Main News. More reports coming your way after this time out. To stay on.
The Federal Ministry of Health don't confirm it now, say the coronavirus where they kill people all over the world now, you don't enter Nigeria, but sir, you go feel protect yourself if you wash your hand always with soap and water, especially after you don't go place where be say people many, and after you don't blow your nose, you cough or you sneeze. Rub the chemical when they call sanitizer put for your hand. Make you not touch your eyes, nose, or be mouth with hand where you never wash. No go near people where they sick. Make you begin give yard to anybody now. Our people where they come from Obodo Ibo, may they suffer dead their own first for some time. Report kia to any hospital if you dey sick. When you dey cough or you dey sneeze, cover your mouth and nose with tissue or your elbow. Always flush the tissue where you use enter inside toilet. And if you sick or you dey cough, suffer wear face mask. Clean all the places where hand they touch well with bleach and alcohol solution. Protect yourself and others. They can pay. Now Lapo Microfinance Bank, Benin Medical Care and Lapo Health bring una this message. Lapo, improving lives.
Una know say more than half of the people wey coronavirus don kill for Edo State na 60 years and above. Coronavirus no just get sorry heart for elderly people and other people wey get sickness like kidney disease, hypertension, asthma, tuberculosis, diabetes and cancer. I beg, if you know say you be 60 years and above and you get all this disease, may you careful sit down for your house and mind your business. And our dear young people, no carry coronavirus give your papa, mama, grandpapa and grandmama because their body no be like your own. Una no see the number of coronavirus positive and people wey don die for Edo State. COVID-19 no be play, but just continue to do what the government talk. Maintain social distance and wash your hand always with soap and wear face mask for public. With your cooperation, coronavirus will be history soon. Now Edo State government bring una this story.
Cancer. There are over 100 different types of cancer. Breast cancer, lung cancer, cervical cancer, and many others. Cancer harms the body when altered cells divide uncontrollably to form lumps called tumors. Anyone is at the risk of getting cancer, but some are more likely at risk because of inherited cancerous gene. Some cancers are sometimes lifestyle-induced, like smoking, lack of exercise, poor diet, chemical emissions, environmental or water pollution may play a role. The chances of having cancer can be reduced by avoiding smoking, using tobacco products and alcohol, eating fresh food, and getting regular exercise. There are some tests and screening to help detect cancerous cells, like mammogram for breast cancer and pap test for cervical cancer, and through other cancer detection tests. Your fighting chance against cancer is early detection and treatment through regular screening and testing. This message is powered by Lapo, improving lives.
Ogbele 2020 don't come with Ogbonge travel awufo. Muyi Line, the transport company where get everybody for mind. Say comfortable traveling no suppose tear pocket as a bonanza price still there from Benin to Lagos. Mine to Yanakwaja Yaba and Aja for just 2,500 naira. Benin to Port Harcourt 2,000 naira plus cheap awu price. So worry Bayelsa and Niger Delta routes, including Ekpoma, Auchi and Abuja. Muyi Line executive charter cars like Toyota Corolla, Toyota Camry and Sienna dey to local and international airports and anywhere for Nigeria. Save money, enjoy safe and comfortable journey as this travel awoof day till June 30th, 2020. Muyi Line head office day 169 Oselu Lagos Road, opposite Technical Junction, Benin City. Muyi Line, friend of Nigeria students.
Many thanks for your time. And now talking politics. The All Progressives Congress has inaugurated the party's Edo State Governorship Primary Election and Election Appeal Committees. National Vice Chairman Sart of the party, Hilad Eta, inaugurated the committees, one of which has Imo State Governor Senator Hope Uzodinma as his chairman. Saliu Abdullah's report will be brought to you in our next newscasts. In the meantime, the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party has postponed the Edo State Governorship primary election, earlier scheduled for Friday, June 19 and Saturday, June 20, 2020 to a new date, Tuesday, June 23, 2020. A statement from the National Publicity Secretary, Kola Olagbo-Dinya, says the decision is predicated on exigencies of the party activities. It adds that all governorship aspirants, critical stakeholders, party faithful and timid supporters, particularly in Edo State, are to take note accordingly. The party further reminded members that all activities shall be in accordance with the NCDC guidelines on COVID-19 as it concerns social, physical distancing at public gatherings. The National Human Rights Commissioner, Edo State, and other coalition of human rights have taken to the streets demanding urgent action against increasing cases of rape and sexual abuse against women in the state. Peter Oyibo reports.
The protesters chanted solidarity songs, passing the same message in different ways. They were at the Edo State Police Command, where the rape and gruesome murder of 22-year-old Uniben student Uwaila Vera Omozuwa on May 27th and many other cases were highlighted. They want the police to declare war against rapists in the state.
The one of Iwaila is taken care of, and I tell you that in no distant time, we shall all celebrate it. I want to tell you that the command also want to appeal for your support in intelligence gathering, support in bringing information. As you all know that the police cannot do it alone.
The peaceful protest was also taken to the Ministry of Justice, where the Attorney General and Commissioner addressed them.
It's not enough to talk and move around. You have to continue until something happens. Justice is done. They should not be allowed to get away scot-free. That is the resolve of the government.
Edo State Coordinator, National Human Rights Commission, Sani Momo, says rape must be treated strictly as a criminal offense and not as a family matter.
The awareness that is being created by the National Human Rights Commission is contributing to this increasing reportage. A lot of people are now reporting rape cases everywhere, and we have been creating awareness on that area of reportage. We have been asking people to report cases of rape and to also report other cases of sexual and gender-based violence to us.
We are here to say no to rape because it's been rampant. So we decide to gather today as a body so that all stakeholders involved should make sure that they fight against it.
Reports by UNICEF says 1 in 4 girls in Nigeria has experienced some form of sexual violence. In Benin, Peter Oyibo, NTA News.
Meantime, the crisis rocking Olugbo community in Ovia Northeast local government area of the state is of great concern to the police, and efforts are ongoing to deal with those found wanting. These were the words of the Deputy Commissioner Administration, Kanayo Uzwegbu, while addressing some members of the community who visited the Edo State Police Command to register their grievances. Udrak Obam Achiban reports.
His family has left Ologbo over threat on land grabbing. We want to appeal to the CP. The police state headquarters should weigh on this matter. Appeal to IG for peace to reign in Edo State, for peace to reign in Ologbo Dukedom.
Mr. Uzwebu said that security matters required to be tackled against a background of facts. The police, he said, had been guided by the facts in dealing with the Ologbo crisis. He asked the people to remain law-abiding and that they should be rest assured that their concerns will be addressed.
I can assure you, this matter will be arrested, and we are working intelligently on it. We don't need violence. You can't use violence to achieve a purpose. I want you to go and address your men. Go peacefully. And you can come to us. Your issue now, come and, yes, a petition, which we are invested.
For some time now, Ologbo community has been in the news as members of the community have protested against acts of criminality, murder, kidnapping, and destruction of properties in the jurisdiction. Some persons have been fingered as being complicit in the felonies. In Benin, Udwakobong Achibong, NTA News.
And another break is next. Stay with us.
Hey, now me I go ask and say, why all of us go pay 100,000 naira? Second, say your husband, he want do 70th birthday. She na all of us marry them together. Hey, when her mama die, she collect money. Her papa die, she collect money. Her mama die, she collect. You remember when she talk, say she wanted her mama dead body.
Mama, you too talk.
Now you be glad when they dash me credit anyhow. Imagine, 40-year-old dead body. Why you they laugh now? Now try to bring your money.
Mama, no laugh.
Not be you, Jerry. Now some apropos customer there when they know they mind their own business. Well, I never even begin to give you her gist.
Glow and Member. Get 5 times your recharge to call all networks. Recharge with *555* #PIN#.
Make I sell my market finish first, eh? I will call you back. Oh.
Glow unlimited.
Please until Signature Hotel. Please until Signature Hotel. Our place of hospitality in the heart of Benin City. Please until
Pleasant Hill Signature Hotel, a place of hospitality in the heart of Benin City, located at 134 Akpakpava Road, Benin City, Edo State, or call 0528 40557 or 081363908.
Please until Signature Hotel. Please until Signature Hotel. A place of hospitality.
Many thanks for your time. And talking COVID-19, Nigeria has recorded an additional 587 new cases of COVID-19, bringing the total as at 17 June to 17,735. The breakdown of the new cases from 18 states in the country are as follows: Lagos 155, Edo 75, FCT 67, Rivers 65, Plateau and Kaduna 18 each, Enugu 17, Borno and Ogun 12. Others are Ondo 7, Kwara 4, Kano and Gobe 2, while Sokoto and Kebbi 1 case each. The total number discharged in the country 5,967, while the death toll is now 469. And right now in the studio is Grace Arega, an Assistant Director, Nursing Services, University of Benin Teaching Hospital. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Now, quickly, the country is experiencing a spike, with Edo having 75 cases in one day, according to the NCDC record. What would you tell the people now concerning the disease progression?
Thank you very much. Well, it's not unfounded. Normally, following pandemic, there are normally rise. There's a rise that follows a lifting in the lockdown, and more so, we have the persons that are most hit now are the elderly, and it's very clear why they are the one coming down with COVID, because their immunity is compromised by reason of age. They come down with all sorts of illnesses that are common now with elderly, like the diabetes, the hypertension. So this pre-morbid state make them more vulnerable. Again, to the people, you know, you drive through the street of Benin, you see the way people throw caution to air. I want to admonish them. Because you are young, you may not come down with it. You may be able to ward it off. But your old parents at home are the receiving end. Because you wonder, the elderlies really don't go out. But they won't come in down. Why? The children go out. They do what they like. They don't observe the guideline put in place. And so they are contaminating or infecting their people. And so we're yet to see rise. Except we have a change of attitude. We still keep and observe the physical distancing. You see people hugging, people, shaking hands. As I came in just 9:20, I saw them very close, hugging and shaking hands.
Now, talking about the industrial action by resident doctors, is there a register for them to clock in and out as directed by the federal government?
Sorry to say, federal government cannot make a demand. They cannot so demand because they have failed in their end of bargain. People are risking their life fighting COVID. The little that is due them, you can't pay it. And you're coming on air to say, open a register. I'm not a doctor, I'm a nurse. And I'm even surprised why my association have not joined in the strike. You are feeding children that are at home. You're telling me you are feeding school children. You are renovating the National Assembly. You're pumping money to fight so many things. Then the very one that is paramount, COVID that is ravaging the country. No PPE, nothing. The individual are just, we're looking around trying to source to keep yourself safe, not to be affected. The government is initiating a clock in and clock down. That doesn't work. They should hold their part of the bargain and then we will follow suit.
Thank you very much for coming.
You're
and
welcome.
that is much we can take on the interview segment. And that is how we'll wrap it up as well on the news. Do have a pleasant night rest. Good night from us.
Sense only when you are